Hi, I'm Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and this is the handover of the Swift Mondial RL. So as we start, we'll walk around on the driver's side of the vehicle first. The first point you get to is your cassette locker. So all your lockers open with the round-headed key there. So once you've turned the barrel, if you just push them in, releases the door, and then as long as the blade's closed on the inside of the toilet, you'll be able to lift the handle and slide it out like so. You've got a handle there so you can drag it to your waste disposal point, which is normally located behind or beside the shower and toilet block. Take the cap off, press the button, tip it out. Once you've tipped it out, there's normally a tap there. Put some water in, give it a rinse, tip out again, and if you're using the liquid form of chemical, a cap full straight into here, either the blue or the green, or if you're using the tablet form, you put a pint of water in via the blade. So pint of water in, then a sachet of either the blue or the green eco-friendly chemical tablets, and then this just pushes back into the vehicle. Mains connectivity points, this is where you connect with 240 volts. So you get your hookup lead, lift the collar up and slide it on here. And below this you've got your grey water waste, so this is anything you've put down a plug hole. And then you go to your motorhome service bay on the way out of your site and simply open, and that'll just drain out of any water that you've put down a plug hole. In the winter it's very important that you drain this point off, as you don't want the water to freeze in the tank below the vehicle. Truma vent, so this just allows all the fumes for the boiler and the water heater out, so just make sure that's not obstructed. Fresh water filler, so it's got a lockable cap with the little key. Hose pipe in there until it was to overflow, or you're happy you've got enough water on board. Should you not be able to get a hose pipe to the vehicle, but you can get an aqua roll or a bucket, and you've got a wheel submersible pump, one end goes in here like normal. The power would go in here, and then you drop the other end into the aqua roll or barrel of water, and it will suck the water into the main tank. That's only if you can't get a hose pipe to the vehicle to put in here. Walking further round, got storage underneath your rear benches at the back, and on the bottom bumper you'll notice that you've got parking sensors. And then coming down this side, so this is your fresh water drain. So if you've taken on contaminated water, you're winterizing and letting all the water out for the winter, as you don't want this one to freeze as well as the waste. You just open and that'll just drain off any fresh water that you've put in via a hose pipe. So make sure that you do drain it off in the winter, otherwise it will freeze and it isn't covered under warranty for frost damage. On your sliding door, got your electric step switch, which will automatically go in with the engine. And then you do have two spaces for two 6 kilogram bottles. To connect the pigtail to the bottle, it's a left hand thread. So left hand thread, opposite threads with it being gas. Hand tighten and then turn the bottle on and off. Make sure it's off when travelling, and always make sure that the bottle is strapped in for safety. Coming to the door, you've got your diesel. So your diesel filler opens with the main ignition key, so you pop it in there and you'll be able to fill with diesel fuel. And then just there you've got your tyre pressure, so 4.1 bar on the front, which is 59.3, and 4.5 bar on the back, which is 65 psi. Tool kit underneath the passenger seat, so it's got a jack and a brace and a towing eye in there. Engine battery lives underneath the floor on the Ducato. It's underneath this panel. And then you've got your bonnet release on the side of the dashboard, which if we have a quick look underneath the bonnet, you've got all your fluids this side, so screen wash, power steering, brake fluid and coolant. Obviously engine oil filler and dipstick here. And then this side you've got a positive for giving or receiving a jump start underneath this cover, and you just earth off the front there. And then so above this sliding habitation door you've got your main Swift 12 volt control panel. So if you turn on the power here, you'll notice if you get the little electricity sign on the post, it means you are hooked up to mains 240 volt. If you didn't have this light on, you will just be using 12 volt off the leisure battery. And then what you can do is you can view your levels, so you can see your vehicle battery, or should I say your leisure battery and your vehicle battery readings, your fresh and your wastewater reading. You put your pump on when you have sufficient water. This will prime the water through the tap, so you'll get a pressurized water flow through your bathroom tap, your kitchen tap and your hand basin tap. You've got your awning light, which is outside on the side of the vehicle, which brings on this little light at the top of the van. And then you've got your cabin light, which is your main switch for all lights inside the vehicle. Then they all are individually switched. Come to this side, you've got your Truma Combi E controls. So this controls what energy source you're using and whether you're wanting heating and hot water on. So on this side is what, so in the middle is off there, so once it stops flashing it will go off. And then above it you've got 60 degrees at the very top of heat and water, 40 degrees of heat and water. So this is only if you just wanted heat and water and not heating. And then you've got off, and then should you have no water on board you can just have heating on its own, which is the gas flame here. And then 1 to 5 is just your thermostat on how hot you want the vehicle. So 5 is about 30 degrees. And then you've got the gas flame and 60 degrees. So this is heating the vehicle and heating the water at 60 degrees. Come to this side, it's what source you want to be on. So at the top you've got 2 wiggly lines. This is equivalent to 2 kilowatts of heat. 1 wiggly line, which is 1 kilowatt of electric. So you may have to use this on smaller CL sites or abroad. If you're wild camping and you weren't hooked up, you'd use the gas on its own. Then you've got gas and 1 kilowatt of electric, and gas and 2 kilowatts of electric. Gas and 2 kilowatts of electric you'd use more in the winter. Should you be away and it's really cold, this will give a boost for heating the water or the vehicle. It'll get up to temperature a lot quicker, about 15 minutes, and then you can turn the gas off and turn it back to electric to allow the water or the heating to continue to be heated. This switch in your wardrobe is for the on-off for the fridge. So you'll notice when it is on, you get the lights, turn the switch, lights go off. So always make sure that the switch is on for your fridge to work. In the kitchen area, so you've got 3 gas rings there. Allow it to cool down before you put the glass lid down. And then underneath you've got oven and grill, so we'll go for the grill first. So there you have your grill. It's working. You may have to hold it in just to allow the thermocouple to get warm before releasing. And there you go, it's lit on its own. And then if you go to the other side, you've got the oven. Below you've got storage, but you'll notice the red gas taps in the corner. These are mainly for when the vehicle is habitation serviced. Any problems with gas, turn the bottle off to be safe. Then you've got a large cupboard there with slide out cutlery drawer. 2 3-pin 240 volt sockets And then if you push the button in to release the doors on all overhead lockers, you've got a cups and plate rack. To the opposite side, you've got your wardrobe, which has got a hooker blade, a tabletop, TV booster there. So you've got a booster, which is just an amplifier, so it just does its own thing, which is this white box here. And then you've got your hanging rail. Below, you have your fridge, which is a 12-volt compression fridge, and you simply turn it on and off via here. So you can turn it off, or you can turn it on, and then you've got a small freezer box. When shutting the door, so when travelling, you can turn this way, and it'll keep the door shut, so it's a travel lock. But what you can do is, before shutting the door, if you turn it, it'll say vent. It'll just take the little clip in there and it'll allow you to get your hands around the seal. So once you're finished with it for the winter and you're packing it away for a few months as you're not using it, or you're not using it in the summer, clean it out and then put the fridge door on vent. Don't allow it to shut fully, as if it shuts fully, it will allow mold and bacteria to grow in the fridge, and that's not what you want. At the back here, you've got individual switches for your reading lights, storage above, so you've just got loads of storage. There's nothing really above here, it's all empty for your storage. And then operate the TV. It is a 240-volt TV this, so you have to be hooked up for it to work. And you just press on. Point it down to the light at the bottom right hand corner and the telly will come on. Then every time you move, you will have to retune the TV.
Each other,
and then to retune, you just press menu
at 50% capacity, but it's been packed out and
go down to tuning,
all the tickets they've had available.
Yeah,
and it's been lovely.
And go to auto search. You're in the UK. Just go down to start auto searching. Yes. And it'll find as many channels as it can where you're located. And then your TV stores away in here, so you just push it up. And then you just put the catch in to keep the telly on both sides stored away. So underneath your long bench seat at the back on the driver's side of the vehicle, you have your Truma boiler. So this boiler holds 10 litres of water at any time. So it's the same on all motorhomes. The Truma boilers hold 10 litres of water. Obviously in the winter you don't want that 10 litres of water to freeze, because if it did freeze, it's very expensive to replace and it isn't covered under warranty. So it's your responsibility to drain the vehicle down by opening the fresh and the waste outside, all the taps within the vehicle, and then you want to open this boiler tap. And this boiler tap's just this yellow toggle here, so when lying down it's holding 10 litres of water. Stand it up and the 10 litres of water will drain directly out underneath the chassis of the vehicle. Leave it stood up during the time you've got it in storage, then when you are ready to come and reuse the vehicle for the season ahead, if you shut all the taps outside, shut all the taps inside, shut the boiler tap, so lie it down like it is there now, fill with water via a hose pipe, come in, put the pump on, go to the cold side of the tap, you'll get automatic cold water. Go to the hot side, it'll cough, splutter, make all sorts of noise, because all it's doing is it's drawing the fresh water from underneath the vehicle into here and filling it up of 10 litres and pushing the air out that's in here. So that will normally take about 3 or 4 minutes to push the water through on the tap, so don't panic if it's making funny noises. Just let it continue on until you get a steady flow of water on one tap. Then you do them all and then it's ready for the season as the water's primed. Down this side you do have your water pump, so that'll kick in when the taps are open. System shutdown button, so if you wanted to isolate the battery, the leisure battery, you can just push this button here and it'll stop any power drain. You've got all your 12-volt fuses, so do carry some spares. And then on this side you've got all your RCDs and MCBs, and you've got your charger, your space heater and your water heater on mains 230 volt. So just leave these on. If you've ever knocked these off and you can't get any lights on the dial above the door for the heating and hot water, just check these are on. And the charger is obviously charging your leisure battery as well as your engine battery when hooked up. And then for sleeping arrangements, you can either use them as singles by removing the backrest, or if you use it as one big double bed, you'd simply slide it out, slide the other side out as well.
Alright, I'm just finishing this video off for 2 minutes. Yeah, I got it yesterday. I'll come across.
Slide them out. So that's them out to the full, and then you would just put the backrests into the space upside down. I would also advise turning the other cushions upside down as well, as there's a flatter surface to sleep on. It is quite a tight squeeze, but that's what you want, so the cushions don't move. And there you have a large flat double bed. In the toilet washroom area, got a fold down sink, and then once you have used it and put water in it, if you slowly just lift it, because it's got to drain into here to then drain out. Shower curtain, top right your toilet. Make sure the pump's on. You can press the blue button to flush. Once you've flushed it, if you then open the blade, and to open the blade on the bottom bowl of the toilet, you've got a grey lever, slide to the right, use it with the blade open, because flushing before lubricates the seal on the blade and stops the blade sticking. Use it like with it open in this position, flush, and then slide to the left to close it, and then that'll allow you to get the cassette out should you need to. You'll get a light on here when the cassette's full and ready to be changed. And then if you take this off when winterizing this shower head, allow this hose to lie in the shower tray. Any water in here with this mixer tap open will drain directly out of the waste outside. And you've got little buttons there, so you just push them in and you've got a handy little toiletry cabinet in there. Shower curtain comes right the way around, and then you've got your light for your washroom. Pinch these and push up to open the vent, or you can have one end up and one end down, or one side down and one side up, just depending on the way the wind's blowing, if you wanted a nice bit of ventilation. To open this type of skylight, which is the same as the bigger one at the back, you just push the button in, slide along, slide into the grooves for ventilation. Always make sure that the bar is above the button and it's closed when travelling. Fly screen and blackout blind. So now in the cab, to the right of the driver you have your handbrake, and then to block the door, the driver and passenger doors out on an evening, there's above you there is some silver screens which just have press studs on, so you just pop them on there and they'd black out the driver's door and the passenger door. Then on the door card itself, you've got passenger and driver electric windows, and then passenger and driver mirror adjustment for top and the bottom. Headlight adjustment, and then you can go through the mode, which is just the date and time on the screen. Indicators and lights. Wipers with trip computer, which tells you the date, the range, the distance, the average consumption, the instant consumption, the average speed, the travelling times and the distance travelled. Cruise control, so you just turn it on, you'll get the little green cruise control dial in the rev count at the bottom, and then you would just get your desired speed and push up, accelerate with it, decelerate with it, and turn it off and on. If you had to cancel with the brake, you can press resume on the end of the stalk, and that'll take you back to the last speed it was set at. You'll notice this is a Comfortmatic automatic transmission, so neutral at the top, all the way down to reverse, which brings on the little beep for reversing, and then across gently for automatic, and if you press again it'll go into manual, so just up for neutral and then down lightly and allow it to go to the left for automatic. You go up and down when in automatic as well, should you need to feel the need to intervene and change gear. You can park it in neutral with the handbrake on, or you can park it in automatic with the handbrake on as well, doesn't really matter. Locks the doors, unlocks the doors. Hazards, rear fogs and heated mirrors. 2 12-volt points. Lockable glove box there, and then you've got another glove box here and a one up here which is heated and cooled by the air conditioning. Temperature, fan speed must be on at least 1 or more for the aircon to work, which is this button here. Then you've got your distribution, so where you want to go to, face, feet or screen, and whether you're bringing fresh air in or you're recirculating air within the motorhome. Got a JVC head unit here, so it's very simple to operate. So turn the engine on. That beeping's just to let us know that we're hooked up, so don't drive off anywhere. Turn it on. Got 1 to 6 to save your FM and AM channels. You've got a 3.5mm aux jack. SRC will change it to aux in or CD should it detect one. Scroll along the channels, save your favourite radio station, and then if you wanted to eject the head unit, you would just press here, and then always put the right hand side in first, then the left, and it'll come on. And then on your windscreen, if you just push one up, push one down, this will pop out, and do the same the other side. So push one up, push one down, slides out, and then they just clip together on the magnetic strip.